B&B spoilers, Katie's new jobs for Dylan, and will leave Electra fuming. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers suggest that Katie Logan Spencer, Heather Tom, might hire Melissa Dillon, Sydney Bullock, and Will Spencer, crew Morrow. Will these new jobs for the Logans upset Electra Forrester, Linnea Grace, and increase her worries about her relationship? Electra and Will did talk to Steffi about hiring Melissa Dillon. Electra and Will talked to Steffi Forrester Finnegan, Jacqueline McInnes Wood, about possibly getting Dylan a job at Forrester Creations. Unfortunately, the receptionist position didn't work out because Steffi had to give it to someone else. Dylan could apply for an internship, but she really needs a proper job to earn money quickly. Could Katie step in and provide Dylan with a great job opportunity? Dylan has a lot of skills and talent as an artist, so there could be a spot for her at Logan. Plus, Katie is eager to assemble a team quickly. Will may suggest Melissa Dillon to his mom. At some point, Will may suggest that Melissa Dillon would be a great match and might encourage her to share some of her work with Katie. Katie could review it and quickly agree since she's seeking fresh, unique ideas to help Logan stand out. It's possible that she will meet all of Katie's criteria and soon find herself working at the Logan offices. Electra might be happy that she is finally earning a paycheck, but then an unexpected twist could change everything. Will has been worried about his job security at Forrester Creations. Given the tension stirred up by Katie's fashion house, it's understandable why Will would be anxious about his position at Forrester. Ridge reassured Will. He doesn't blame him for his parents' actions. Ridge Forrester, Thorsten K., basically reassured Will that he doesn't blame him for his parents' actions. The drama surrounding Katie has nothing to do with Will. And Ridge doesn't believe Will is like his troubled father, Bill Spencer, Don Diamont either. However, B&B spoilers indicate that trouble is likely on the horizon. If Will hears Ridge speaking poorly about Katie and it goes too far, he might defend his mom and leave. There's a perfectly good Spencer empire waiting for Will if he chooses to be a part of it. Will has the option to work for his father, but could also work for his mother. Will has the option to work for Bill at Spencer Publications, but Katie may convince him to apply his knowledge of the fashion industry to assist her in launching Logan. If both Will and Dylan join forces at Logan, you can be sure that Electra will be furious. The thought of Dylan and Will sharing the same workspace without her could create a significant issue for Electra. According to spoilers for The Bold and the Beautiful, Dylan will lead to much larger problems in the upcoming weeks. So keep an eye out for any breakup news that could be developing for Electra and Will. Be sure to catch up on everything happening with B&B right now. Come back here often for The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, news, and updates. As the situation continues to unfold at both Forrester Creations and the newly forming Logan Fashion House, the ripple effects are expected to spread far beyond just Will, Dylan, and Electra. Insiders suggest that Katie's business move will not remain a quiet side project for long. Once Logan officially begins recruiting talent, it will send a clear signal to Forrester that serious competition has arrived. Steffi Forrester may try to stay professional on the surface, but there is no denying that Katie's actions will feel personal. The history between the Logans and the Forresters runs deep, and every business decision now carries emotional weight. If Katie succeeds in building a strong design team quickly, it could threaten Forrester's dominance in ways Steffi is not prepared for. Behind closed doors, Ridge is already said to be questioning whether he underestimated Katie. While he publicly claims that he supports healthy competition, sources say Ridge is uneasy about how quickly Katie is moving. Logan's early momentum could expose vulnerabilities at Forrester, especially if key employees begin to consider jumping ship. Will's internal conflict is expected to grow in the coming days. On one hand, he wants to prove himself independently of his parents. On the other, every major opportunity in front of him is tied directly to family. Working for Forrester keeps him under Ridge's shadow. Working for Bill pulls him into Spencer power games. And working for Katie places him right in the middle of a brewing corporate war. Electra will not ignore these warning signs for long. At first, she may try to convince herself that everything is fine. She may tell friends that she trusts Will completely, and that Dylan is simply a coworker trying to survive. But jealousy has a way of creeping in slowly, especially when distance and secrecy start to grow. If Dylan begins spending long hours at Logan with Will, Electra will notice the shift immediately. Missed calls, delayed texts, canceled plans, and vague explanations will fuel her suspicions. Even innocent moments between Will and Dylan could be misinterpreted once trust begins to weaken. Friends close to Electra may advise her to confront Will directly, but confrontation may only make matters worse. If Will feels accused unfairly, he could pull away emotionally, creating exactly the distance Electra fears most. This emotional gap could become the beginning of the end for their relationship. Meanwhile, Dylan's position will grow more complicated. She may start her new job simply grateful for a paycheck, but success changes dynamics quickly. As her confidence grows, so will her influence. If her designs attract attention, she could become one of Logan's most valuable assets in a short time. Katie will not be blind to the tension forming between the three young adults. In fact, she may view it as unavoidable collateral damage. From her perspective, business comes first. If Will and Dylan are effective together, she may push them closer professionally, regardless of the personal cost. Bill Spencer will not stay on the sidelines either. Once he realizes that Katie is building a rival fashion house and possibly recruiting their son, he is likely to intervene. Bill does not lose territory quietly, especially not to someone he once loved. There is a strong chance that Bill will offer Will a powerful alternative, a high-ranking position at Spencer Publications. Financial independence and the promise of real authority could tempt Will away from both Forrester and Logan. This choice could place Will directly in opposition to his mother and Ridge at the same time. If Will accepts Bill's offer, it could completely change the trajectory of the story. Instead of choosing between two fashion houses, he would enter a different battlefield altogether. That move would also place him under Bill's intense influence, something Katie has always feared. At Forrester Creations, Steffi may begin tightening control. She could start monitoring employee loyalty more closely, limiting access to sensitive projects, and reshuffling positions to prevent further losses. Any sign of defection could trigger a wave of defensive decisions. Ridge's patience may begin to wear thin as well. Although he claims not to blame Will, his frustration with Katie could spill over. If he publicly criticizes her leadership or business ethics, those words could easily reach Will and deepen the divide. Electra's breaking point may come when she realizes that she is the only one being left out. While Will builds his future and Dylan builds her career, Electra may feel stuck, powerless, and increasingly invisible. That emotional isolation could lead her to make a drastic decision. Some spoilers hint that Electra may consider leaving Los Angeles altogether. A job offer elsewhere, a sudden trip, or a desire to start fresh could pull her away before things collapse completely. But running away may only delay the heartbreak, not prevent it. If Electra leaves without resolving things with Will, the door will remain open for misunderstandings to grow. Dylan could become Will's closest emotional support during that time, whether intentionally or not. And once emotional boundaries blur, physical boundaries often follow. Katie's company will likely face its own challenges. Launching a fashion house from scratch is never easy. Investors may hesitate, suppliers may demand guarantees, competitors may spread rumors. Katie will be under intense pressure to prove that Logan is more than just a revenge project. There is also the risk that Katie may begin to push Will too hard. As both her son and an employee, Will could feel trapped by her expectations. If she leans on him as both family and business support, it could strain their relationship in unexpected ways.